Usually, on our show, we have musicians, singers, writers, actors. Well, tonight we have a rather unusual kind of guest. His name is Pat McCormack, and he's a shepherd. Hi, Pat.
Hi.
What are you doing in New York?
We're here on a shepherd's convention, and we're very proud of the turnout we've had here. Every shepherd in America is here.
And is it a special kind of convention? I mean,
yes, there are three of us.
Only three shepherds? Is it
yes,
a dying industry?
There are only three American shepherds. I wouldn't say it's a dying industry, but in America there's not a big call for it.
Why are they holding that convention?
Well, we wanted to match up techniques, and we do have to branch out because being shepherds with just sheep is not going to work. Some of us are learning to be shepherds for chickens.
People here like to know about shepherds because it really is an unusual occupation. Anybody have any questions about them? What? What did you want to know? Oh, I can't. No, I'd like to know from you. Is there any questions anybody has? Do you all know about shepherds? Yes. Every little bit of. You see.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't you get kind of lonely?
All right. Let me just ask the question. Okay. Don't you get kind of lonely?
Yes, you do. It is a boring occupation. One of the things we do to make it more interesting is I bring a portable electric shaver, and I shave dirty words in the wool on the side of the sheep. That's one of the things we do out there. I've learned to give, when the sheep go for a swim, I've given mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to the sheep.
Sort of like a family. I mean.
Yes, you must pop a couple chlorets in, though, because they eat some funny things.
Sheep really do smell bad. I don't know much about. I know about cows. I have.
Well, not too bad. One reason I don't mind it is because I dig flies a lot, and sometimes when the flies gather on the sheep, they spell words that are they say hi there, and they're tough to train, the flies. But
that stops you from getting bored.
Yes.
Any other questions here? Whoa, we got some. Yes, let's hear. Loud though.
Are you liked by the sheep?
Are you liked by the sheep?
Well, I married one, and when we left the chapel, they threw mutton at us. I'll never forget that. It was a wonderful day. It lasted a couple hours.
We'll find out who Pat McCormack really is right after this message. Pat, now, come on and tell us who you really are.
I'm the resident wino at Marineland.
Oh, no, come on. Pat, really tell us who you are. I mean, I think it's important. Everybody here should know that you're one of the best writers, comedy writers in America. Tell them that. Come on.
Well, that's a moonlighting job.
No,
I'm
really.
a diction teacher for minor birds.
You right now, I know you're writer for the Kraft Music Hall,
Right.
correct?
Yes.
You've done things with Jonathan Winters. In fact, didn't you start with him?
Yes, Jonathan, I was in the advertising business, and Jonathan and I started ad-libbing here and there as we met socially, and finally we got a professional relationship, and he brought me to New York to do the Par Show when he took over as a substitute.
He's a wild guy, isn't he? I mean,
It's beginning to look that way, yes.
yeah, he's had such unbelievable things. Are you involved with any of the crazy
I
schemes
called him
that-
up last night, as a matter of fact, and he said he couldn't talk long because he was on fire.
Seriously? I mean, he
Yeah,
talks like that
yeah.
all the... Well, I mean, he's had some crazy thing. I mean, do you...
Well, the thing that cinched it, when I just barely knew him, I had him over for a christening once, for a child I once had, I think. And when I brought him out, the kid was nude on a platter, and I had onions and carrots around, and I was sharpening a knife, and from then on he knew that I belonged with him.
He once got locked up. I mean, did you ever get locked up?
No, he keeps thinking that I should, though, and
Why was he locked up?
actually, he was kissing a clergyman, and meant nothing by it, but they fell in front of a horse, and the horse had kidney trouble. Well, forget it. It's a terrible story.
Do you ever get involved in serious things? I mean, political questions, social causes, anything of that type?
Yes, I lived in California the previous couple of years, and I noticed that people like Bud Schulberg used to go down to Watts and teach the people writing and things. So I knew that I should do some public service myself. So I went to what I thought was something that needed doing, and that was I studied a midget community. I went in where a lot of midgets lived, and I got there just as a contest they were having was over, and the winning midget couple won the first prize, which was to spend 2 weeks on John Wayne. And I studied their whole community there. Their favorite amusement park ride was an electric toothbrush. And they had one midget there that was so small that he moved into an anthill and tried to pass. An unusual thing there, Fred. But they held the crowds back with rosary beads. It was quite an interesting thing,
You
studying the
pick
midgets.
such odd things. I mean, you know, midgets and to serve.
Yes. I live in the Bowery. I'm doing a book on that. So I don't know. It's just my way.
Is it
Fred.
your way just to have unusual kind of? I mean, do you really? Is that like a minority cause, the midget situation? Is
It
that
is.
why you went into it?
I think so. I go to Wrinkle City and study the older people's, the way they live. Of course, I got
Wrinkle
there.
City.
I got
Did
there
you
on
hear
the,
the oohs and ahs for that?
well, at Wrinkle City is a retirement center that I'm also studying. I got there, unfortunately, on a Thursday, and that's the day they spend getting out of bed. They were getting ready for Halloween, which was just a couple months ago, and they were getting their favorite game there, bobbing for oxygen. There was one man, Fred, you won't believe this, he spent the last 10 years, got so many things wrong with him, he spent the last 10 years in the restroom. And they give him his pension check in dimes. An interesting guy, but it does seem...
You know what the problem? You know, as I hear these things, they verge so much on being serious. I notice half the audience is hysterical, and half of them are looking at you like, "Gee, what's happening?" You know,
Well,
like
I
they
should
really.
have worn pants. That was my mistake.
No. I mean, they look at you.
Or else the spat should have gone up all the way. I don't know.
They look at you and they say, you talk about this business of the old people and about a man going to the restroom for a week, and they look at you very serious. Some of them are
Well, no
almost
wonder.
crying over here. Half of them are hysterical.
Well, the cameras were off us. You served me raw meat. There's a chain leading off from my leg. I mean, what do you expect them to think?
No, I think that the type of humor you have is such offbeat delight. And I kind of find the audience's reaction very interesting to it. I mean, everybody really doesn't know when to take you serious. And you're a very serious guy.
Well, of course I am. I happen to know the sparrow that lives in your beard, Fred. If you don't release it during the holidays, it's rather cruel of you.
Well, you know, it's the holiday season right now, you know. And
I know that. You're going for the lead in the Passion Play this year, I know.
I wish the problem I have in doing this show, and one of the fun things about doing it, is that I meet so many bright young people, bright young comics, writers, and I'm a nightclub owner, basically, you know. And I find it difficult to keep moving with them so fast. I mean, it's just I really don't know where it's at. I sort of feel like so many of the people here when they come on somebody with your kind of fast thing. Anyway, I'm glad you're a shepherd this year. What are you going to be next year?
I think I'll probably be a mechanic for bad Zeppelins. I've also tried to
Give me some more. Keep going.
Some hybrids. I like to cross animals. I have a laboratory. The UCLA has given me their laboratory. I've crossed, last week I crossed an elephant with a groundhog, and I'm not quite sure what I have, but you should see the hole in my backyard. I'm going to cross a Zeppelin. I used to be a mechanic. I'm going to cross a Zeppelin with a firefly, and I know they're going to hate me in Lover's Lane when it flies over. I crossed a hippopotamus with a mouse, and I didn't know what I had, but last night it ate a cheese factory. So I think I'm going into that, Fred,
Pat,
zoology, things of that nature.
I'm glad you come on our show.
Well,
it's a
it's
delight,
good to
but
be here,
I want you to sit here with me and listen to our next guest.
Okay.
I'm very, very proud to present from the bitter end the world's master of the flamenco guitar, Sabicas.
Beautiful.